there's a report out there that Damien's been released from the hospital. Is that accurate? And I guess, how is he doing?
As well as can be expected. He is out of the hospital and resting at home, and seems to be in good spirits.
And I just, as on another issue, I mean, it came up last night that Josh had his shoulder examined. Any update on that? Is he fine?
He is. He's certainly sore, but is day-to-day currently.
And last thing, can you put your finger on really what I guess could be called the bewildering inconsistencies of just your team's experiencing over the first 6 weeks?
Well, I think overall, we're continuing to find out who we are and what we do well, and I think that's a ongoing process early in the year. What players fit into what roles, and but the inconsistency I think is we've got to figure some things out here so we can get into a better rhythm, in particular early in the game.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hi, Sean. Adam Benini. You got me? Hey, how you doing? I just want to follow up on Josh. Did you say day-to-day with him? Did I hear that correctly?
Yes, day-to-day, yeah.
Is that the result of more scans? I guess Rappaport or someone had a report today that there was some additional testing done. Can you kind of go into that to any degree?
I don't get my information from Rappaport. I get my information from Nate Bresky, our head trainer.
What Nate told you?
Yeah, that he's day-to-day, he's sore, but he's going to be all right, and that's the information I have.
So is there any chance he doesn't play this weekend?
I'm not going to go into that. I just, like anybody else, and I respect where you're coming from. Obviously, Josh is who he is and an important position and player on our team here, obviously. But he's day-to-day, and, at this point, we'll see where that goes.
All right, well, just one more from me, just to follow up on your comment on the inconsistency to John's question there. It seems like whether it's scheme or whatever, or just basic execution, the offense, the last 2 games anyway, has been slow to respond to whatever the opponent may be doing defensively. Is that a fair assessment of it? And to what degree? Is it the players on the field, or maybe Ken and what he's calling and maybe taking time to diagnose something? And because the second half, it seems to be coming together.
Right. Well, I think we've got to look hard at that, right? We have not gotten off to a good start the last 2 games. And so, we're doing work this week to figure out why, what we can do to improve that, because, 3 out in the first drive, I think last night, and then just obviously not scoring enough points in the last 2 games, in particular in the first half. And I was proud of the way that they found a way in the second half. Offensively, we did. But I think we can do a better job. And again, give credit to the Giants. But other than that, I think more than anything, we got to be more detailed. And the level of detail has got to lead to a higher level of execution for us.
All right. Thank you, Sean.
Sure.
Hello, Sean. I was wondering how much consideration you would be willing to give to someone else on your staff calling the offensive plays.
Yeah, 0.
To that end, is there room for more involvement when you're looking for a spark? You have obviously some different minds of guys who have called the plays in the past and other stops. Is there anything, even from, to reuse that word, a spark, or when you say you're taking a hard look at things, what can be done from the staff, or adding some additional brain power there?
Well, I'm confident in Ken Dorsey and our offensive staff. I am, and there's a lot that goes into it, putting a game plan together and calling plays and putting the players in position. I get it, but it's not just one area, right? It's when in position, are you making the play, right? So there's a lot that goes into this, and we've done some things well offensively this year. Of late, we've been certainly too inconsistent, and that's what we have to look at here.
Well, I'll give you a chance to talk about what you're proud of. You said there's some things that have happened that you've done well. What are you particularly pleased with out of your offense?
Well, I mean, I think we're putting up when we've done well, we've put up a lot of points, right? You look at the Raiders game, you look at the Miami game. We were in a rhythm, and it shows you what we're capable of offensively when we're able to establish that rhythm. And in particular, the last two games, we have not been able to get into that rhythm. And so, you look, the first game, we turned the ball over 3 or 4 times there, and then we got into a rhythm in the next game. And then after that, Washington, it was kind of back and forth. And then, you come back to the Miami game, you're saying, hey, that's what we're capable of. And the last 2 weeks, we've struggled, like I've said, to get into a rhythm in the first half.
Thank you, Sean.
Sure.
Yeah, hey, Sean, Alex Brasky, Batavia Daily News. How did the two defensive players that dealt with some injury during the week, Greg Rousseau and Dane Jackson, make it out of Sunday's game?
Yeah, so Dane obviously didn't play, was inactive, and then Greg came out a little bit sore, but he'll be at some point able to practice this week. Don't know what Wednesday will look like, Alex, at this point, but we'll take it one day at a time.
Yeah, my apologies. Ed Oliver's played over 80% of the snaps the last 2 weeks, him in a workhorse role. How important has that been for you guys with Daquan Jones out?
Yeah, I mean, Ed's playing really well. Had a couple of plays this weekend, yesterday, last night that he would want back. It just goes to show you, like, you got to continue to evolve, grow, and work on techniques. And I love the fact that he's doing that weekly now.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, I know Spencer and Cam both left the game yesterday and came back in. Any updates on those two guys and anyone else from the game injury-wise that's worthy of an update here?
Yeah, Cam is day-to-day, and Spencer, went back into the game and looks fine. But overall, I think Cam, more than anything, just is day-to-day at this point.
I want to ask about Von Miller. 25% of snaps against the Jags, went up to 35% yesterday, but only one tackle so far between the two games. Considering what we saw with Trey last year, taking a while to get back to his original level of play, should the expectations for Von still be fairly gradual in terms of how long it takes before he gets back to, what he's been?
Well, I think that's the natural, right? That's the natural trend. And Von is special. He's a special player, special person, special athlete, right? Knowing him, he'll be probably a little quicker than the trend. But it is a gradual, progression, I guess you would call it, the first year back.
Okay. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean. Dawson had mentioned yesterday that going up against the Giants, obviously Daboll, with a familiarity of what you guys do. How much do you feel like that played into things with the way that they kind of schemed things up? Was there anything specifically that they did that you thought was particularly challenging for your offense?
Well, obviously they did some things that they had some success with in terms of getting us or keeping us out of a rhythm early in the game. But overall, it really boils down to our execution.
And then with, your offense overall, Stephon has had a really strong start to the season, a big part of your offense. Gabe has had a really good start as well for the most part. What's been the struggle of finding maybe that third weapon, that third consistent weapon has been spinning through some different options through the first 6 weeks of the season?
Yeah, I think that's really, some of the deep dive we're digging through now is, hey, where's the second target? Where's the third targeted player, and who is it, and how can we get them, more touches, or how can we get them open more? And so Steph is off to a good start. I think the rapport with Josh has been certainly obvious and noticeable by all. And now it's, hey, who's resource 2, who's resource 3, and we've got to continue to evolve offensively with that.
Thanks, Sean.
Coach, Mookie Hawkins, Waffle Sports 1080. How you doing?
Mookie, good to see you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once again, it's about that time. Victory Monday. Yes, it is. And I know you watched tape today, so just give me your pros and cons in the trenches. What do you see?
Well, the O-line, D-line, is that what you're talking about? O-line, D-line? Yeah, I thought for most of the day, our defensive line did a really good job in the run game. They did a good job of trying to negate some of our pass rush by getting the ball out quickly or moving the pocket with some of the bootleg game. Obviously, too, because we've taken the ball away so much, and our defensive front has had production in the sack game. So, and then offensively, I thought in the fourth quarter for sure we really started running the ball well, and that was noticeable.
Absolutely, Coach. That good balance always, solves all problems, right? But Matt said it, right? I mean, you could throw records out the window, players, whatever the case may be. Your first opportunity of going against a guy that, has been on your staff, and this is the first time that someone, off that staff has become a head coach. So what was that like? It's not like practice, how you can go at each other in practice, but this is an actual game. So what was that experience like for you for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly respect Brian Daboll as a coach, and it was good competition, good healthy competition. So it was fun to be a part of a great environment in Western New York.
Absolutely, Coach. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, you too, buddy.
Hey, Catherine, I think we're having trouble hearing you, so we're going to go to Sal. We can come back to you.
Hi, Coach. It's Sal. I don't have my video. Hope you can hear me okay.
Yeah, I got you, Sal. Go ahead.
Just want to get clarification. I jumped into the call late, and I apologize. I know you said everything about Damien. Did you say it was a neck sprain, or did you not go into detail specifically on that?
He's in the concussion protocol, and he has a neck sprain.
Okay, thank you. And as far as concussion protocol, is Dalton Kincaid also still in concussion protocol?
Yes.
One question about yesterday's game. Did you consider going for 2 after the touchdown that put you up 4 points instead of kicking the extra point to go up 5?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about all those situations all the time and consider all options that could be on the table. So, those conversations are always ongoing.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Hey, Sean, it's Jay with the Buffalo News. Could you walk us through what was the decision to go back to Dorian yesterday after you had replaced Matt against the Jaguars, but then you made a switch to Tyrell? Why did you go back to him, and how did you think he did?
Well, the decision to go back to him was because he's a young player that was drafted to help us out, right? And so he went out last night. I thought he did some really good things. He flew around. He made tackles. He made a good play in the red zone on the ball that was thrown to Barkley down there. And he's only going to get better. He just needs time. And like most young players, he's raw and young, but he works extremely hard at it. And he certainly can run, and he's a good football player overall. We just got to continue to work with him, and it's just going to take time, like it does for most young players.
And to follow up on that, Sean, with Dalton, whenever he's able to make it back, and Osiris, and now Dorian, potentially stepping into a starting role, you're leaning on young players maybe more so than you have in the past. Does that represent any kind of shift on your part, or is it all just kind of a case by case basis in the way that it's played out?
Right. It's certainly a case by case basis. I have no problems with young players playing, but like in all cases, Jay, me, playing time's earned. And so, whoever it is, it's earned, and you've got to do your job and do it at a high level. And you're always as a coach wanting that security blanket, that veteran player. But I think overall, you've got to also be open to grooming and developing some young players that will help you sustain some of the success that you've built.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Yeah, I just want to redeem myself, Coach. I'm not sure why Dane Jackson came out of my mouth. Just asking about Shaq Lawson and how you felt his return to the field and just the impact of he and Rousseau against the run and the impact they made, knowing you didn't have Daquan for that game?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about, we knew that there was going to be a heavy dose of Saquon Barkley, and I thought our defensive front, like I said, barring a few plays, did a pretty darn good job in the run game.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, I'm going to take that and actually ask about Dane Jackson and what is his potential availability for this week? How's he kind of look going into practice this week?
Yeah, he is also improving, but it is day to day at this point.
Okay. And then I just wanted to ask, I know you said Damien's in good spirits and kind of gave an update on his specific injury, but have you had a chance to talk to him, just more so anything else you can say about how he's doing, how, if you got a chance to speak to him, just what that's been like?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just extremely thankful to God for, him being in the situation that he's in as opposed to what he was several hours ago on that field. So just resetting and trying to get some rest and just slowing things down.